Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm PANCZASU, the mighty mix spammer, and back with Endless Space, this time after the full release. So as you know, the game has gone gold already, and because of that I am unable to continue with my source playthrough, unfortunately, because it's been going quite well and we're reaching a conclusion, at least I thought we were, and unfortunately we are never ever going to see it, not even I am going to see it for myself, which is kind of disappointing. And let me tell you this, I miss the old main menu screen. I know I talked about this in my Endless Space Has Gone Gold video, but seriously, while this screen is cool, don't get me wrong, it is cool, the beta one was awesome and so fabulously, amazingly cool, beautiful, and all the other adjectives that you could think of. Man, I cannot speak. Anyway, yeah, it was so awesome. This one, it's cool, but nothing else, no jaw-dropping or anything like that. So that's just my humble opinion on that little change that I believe. I mean, I guess what would be best if for us to have an option to have this menu screen, I mean randomized between the factions, or the one from the beta, and I would definitely stick with the one on the beta because it was completely awesome, let me just tell you that. Alright, so I only played a single game in the past, after the game has gone gold. Very much enjoyable. There is this new feature that allows you to control your camera in the battles. Most of the time I'm not really using that one, but let me explain to you why a little bit later than that. First of all, let me set up a faction. Now, I created one of my own already. It was based on amoebas, kinda cool, I believe. And you know what? I think I will go a little bit in depth in terms of faction creation, but since I actually planned to play with a custom faction as well, then we might as well just start creating one for ourselves. Now, I asked you to give me an idea on what faction should I choose, and there wasn't even a single race that was picked twice. But in the end, I think I'm going to go for a race that nobody even picked, so that's the kind of evil man I am. But the race I always wanted to showcase to you guys, and this race is Hisho. Yep, that's right, I really love them. I love them since the very start. I believe they have an amazing fleet that in terms of aesthetics could even compete with the Amoeba's fleet. And I definitely kind of want to play as them, so let me just create a new faction. Now also, one thing I am going to comply to is the idea that I should go ahead and wipe out all the humans. This is definitely something I can understand, and I'm very happy that you people understand my hatred towards our own race, which is a little bit weird when you speak about it, but whatever. So yeah, I'm going to go all in terms of being destructive firepower, and Hisho are the best in terms of that because of the Hisho affinity that will be kept after creating a custom race. So why not let us get started? Now, as you can see, when you create a faction, you start with the template that you get from the main faction, and there's an interesting thing, you actually cannot recreate an original faction, you will not get enough points for that. Reason being, well, the official reasoning behind this, I believe it's an official one at least, is that, well, the main factions are a little bit medium core balanced, or something along those. No, actually this was something else. I believe the reasoning for this is that because this is a custom faction creation system, you can there are probably many ways to exploit it and create an extremely overpowered faction, so you get less points that you're supposed to get, just so that you cannot be way more powerful than the original factions, which in the end didn't really work out, as you might imagine, because it is very easy to create a ridiculously overpowered faction, let me just tell you that. Now, one more thing I wanted to tell you, and I already forgot what it was. Oh yeah, my reasoning why you should let us have as many points as the main faction. It is already up to us if we are going to play as completely overpowered factions or not, right? Because it is really easy to create a completely overpowered faction, and there is no way you're gonna balance out a custom faction in detail. It's just impossible, there's too many options over there, so I just cannot see this happening. So why not just let us go to town and trust us that we are... Well, if you want to have an overpowered faction, then fine, in single player, just let us play as an overpowered faction. I personally prefer to go for a faction that is a little bit more, you know, has a little bit more of what do you call it? Lore behind it. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So, for example, this faction, because the virus have went completely down to town in terms of the hero Malosai, so that the heroes of this faction are completely pathetic. Also, this faction is pretty bad in terms of capturing new systems and food production and so on and so forth. I basically based it upon the idea of being like virus-like, so they basically believe in strength of numbers doctrine, and they also can benefit from. Well, there is quite a lot of lore in it that I'm not going to explain to you because I'm too lazy for that. So anyway, let me just create a new faction. I know that you've been waiting for this for a little bit too long. I'll try to not make it too long for you guys, any longer for you guys. So, yep, that's the faction I'm going to go for. Description, I don't want to make it too long, so just... Yep, that will be enough for now. If you don't know the code, then I have no idea where on earth have you been born in. Is that the proper way to call it? Whatever. And now for the subject to traits. So first of all, I will show you just a brief example on how you can go completely to town with being overpowered. So for example, you get Eternal War, right? So you cannot be at peace or with an alliance with any other faction. And then you get, I believe it was Economy. Yeah, and then you get Blockade Breakers as well as Merchants. So that way you can always get you always have the traders, regardless of the fact that you actually are even at war with other factions. And this is crazy! The amount of bonus side this gives you is amazing. And it only costs you 8 points in total, as you see, if you go for twice the amount of merchants. So yeah, there's quite a lot of other ways to make you extraordinarily overpowered. I try not to be too overpowered, but then again, I have to remember I'm going to play a Zerg. So when you think of Zerg, oh wait a minute, I'm an alpha of this, am I not? When you think of Zerg, then what do you think about? Well, I do think of strength in numbers, so that's what I'm going to go for. Cloning, I'm not sure, but definitely crowded planets, so that fits them a lot, because, well, Zerg are those little swarmy creatures, so that probably fits them quite a lot, I believe. Also, fleets are also going to be big, because, well, as I said, I want to make them as crowded as possible. As you can see, I already used 45 points just for that, and we are just getting started. So those, but that's because those are very, very powerful abilities. The ability to have your planets crowded like that, I cannot express how good this trait is. And big fleets is an even better trait, because it basically allows you to Sparta anyone who, because even though they might have more ships than you do, in a single battle you can only have so many of them. And if your fleet is bigger, then it is probably also going to be stronger, and this allows you to Sparta most of the enemies. Now, what I also want to go for in this playthrough, I do kind of want to go for the class cannon technique that I wanted to showcase to you when playing as Pilgrims. Now I know I don't actually have to play as Pilgrims because nobody even requested me to do so. So I'll show you the tactic I would use as them, because Pilgrims, some people were saying that they are underpowered. I completely disagree with this. You just have to go for a glass cannon technique. Now I'll go for glass cannon technique that is actually going to be even more powerful, because I'll go for a militaristic kind of faction. So first of all, I am going to go snipers. Does it fit Zerg? I really love this trait, don't get me wrong, I love it and that's why I want to get it, but let me just go for things that fit the faction, right? I might go a little bit sidetracked just to get this glass cannon technique, but aside from that, I want to feel like I'm actually Zerg. So, does Recyclers, does it really feel? I don't think so. I'm not sure. Deadly weapons, kinda-ish, and it fits my glass cannon idea. Offense first, that's definitely what I'm going to go for. So, as you can see, this gives me a huge malus, I have no idea, in terms of defense, but that's exactly what I'm going to go for. Spray and pray, I really hate this, but it actually might feel a little bit like Zerg, because, yeah, they are swarmy creatures. They don't care about efficiency of one of them as long as they just kill the opponents. So I might well go to town with this. Oh, it's gonna hurt so badly, but I'll just go with it. In return, I will go full on with deadly weapons as well. So now I'm 40 points I used up 40 points, that's okay. I will go for Eternal War. Is that really Zergish-like? I'm not too sure, because they always backstab somebody, especially if they're Kerrigan. Then again, they're also quite clear with the fact that they kind of want to dominate everything. So I believe Eternal War fits them, but because they backstab, I actually will go for the Blockade Breakers. So yeah, this powerful thing that I thought that is completely off apart, but I will not go for any merchants of this kind of say stuff. And Isolationists, you know what, this kind of will counter my Blockade Breakers, but I want to go for it just so that I feel Zergish. So now I can backstab somebody, because I'm like, oh yeah, take this dust, and then I stab him in the face. But in the sense, on the same side, I do not, you know, everybody knows that I'm an evil person. So Spaniards know that doesn't feel like Zerg, and I don't want to get too bad. So defense, deep roots. This is a really big mouse. I have no idea why it only gets you -3 points. I actually went for 2-on-2 deep roots on Virus, then I reduced it because it's ridiculous. It takes ages for you to capture any system, really. It's just wow, you have no idea. Feeble warriors, definitely not. They are fearless warriors, if anything. But are rather brainless warriors, but I guess this is one and the same. Rebellion? Nope, it doesn't really feel like them. Stellar Guardians? No. That doesn't feel like them at all, either. Revenge? I don't think so, no. Maybe Fearless Warriors, I will think about that. It's on bottom of my list. So, technology. We will give them a technology from the get-go. Technologies, I have a love-hate relationship with those traits because they are very good. It is very good to have them early on, but then again, it's just a slight boost to your entire game, and they cost a lot. So I tend not to go for them when designing my factions. And also, Zerg technology doesn't really feel like it. Maybe Xenology or Xenobotany would fit them, but nah, I don't think so. No. Anomaly. Well, if we remember their original planet, then they should have an unlucky colonist. It's going to hurt me a lot, especially in the beginning, but then again, Zerg originated from very hostile planets, so I guess unlucky colonists will fit this quite well. How much we're gonna bet that I'm going to get the worst Malos on my starting planet possible, but oh well, I'll just try to live with it. Heroes. Well, there actually are heroes in terms of Zerg. I mean, there's Kerrigan that classifies as a hero, doesn't it? I don't think I'll go for any of those, really. Nah, it doesn't feel like it. Fleet, Fragile Hulls. Since I am going for... Well, actually, I have so many negative points, I should start thinking about being a little bit more positive. So... Metallic, well, that definitely doesn't feel Zerg at all. Optimal structure doesn't really fit them anyway. Slow travels, not free. Strong alloys, well, it is kind of difficult to kill a Zerg because they regenerate, so I guess strong alloys could kinda pretend like it is a regeneration thingy. I might resent from that in the future though, I will see about that. Science. Neither tolerant, neither space cadets, neither scientists. I will give them the ability to steal enemy science points, because this feels a lot like what they would do. So I think that's knowledge gathering. Yeah, there we go, knowledge gathering too. Dust recyclers actually maybe a little bit. No, it doesn't feel like them too much, so I will not go for this one. What is mutual understanding? Nope, that's definitely not it. Not even mentioning that it would be completely useless ability if in my case. So actually, String Allies, I might resign from that. Building. Masters of Destruction, probably yes, but I'm only going to go for a single one of those. Population, Cloning, Growth Plan, or Optimistic. I think I will go for Cloning because of their affinity towards lava planets. At least this feels Zerg-ish like. But only 1 point, because it costs a lot and I don't really like Cloning trade at all. So I'm kind of forcing myself to go for it. Economy, nothing here. Science, nothing here. Fleets, nothing here. Right? Strong alloys. You know what? I might actually conclude this with strong alloys. It feels like it. Is there anything else I wanted to go for? space battle? I don't think so, no. Diplomacy? No, so I'm just going to go for a little bit more defense or life on my ships. And actually I will not, because apparently I will have not enough points. Unless I find something that gives me -2 cost. So, deep roots, feeble warriors, no. Actually, instead of strong guys, I will go for fearless warriors. Can I go for 2? Nope, I cannot really, unless I go find something that gives me -4. That's impaired to do. And you know what, I will go for it. It doesn't feel really Zergish-like, but I will go for it just so that I can create this faction. So, it has been like, what, 20 minutes? Oh, and I didn't start my timer, did I? You know what, because it has been for so long, I will pause this video just for a second to see for how long I have been recording so that I can set up my timer. So give me a second, I will be right back. Alright, I am back. It has been about 16 minutes if I'm not mistaken, so I'm still good to go. I can continue on. And yeah, my faction is complete. It has been completely designed. I tried to make it look as Zergish as possible. I hope I managed to achieve what I tried. History Affinity is definitely going to fit me because, well, actually, it doesn't really fit the Zerg, but it's an offensive trait, so it kind of fits me in the terms of that. Difficulty? I might try to go for serious. First time I ever went for serious, but since playing on hard is not difficult for me at all anymore, I win the game every single time when I try to play on hard, I will go for serious and see how that turns out to be. Game speed obviously going to be fast, I already got used to it and I don't want it to be anything different. Is there any kind of victory condition I want to turn off? I don't really think so, no. Let me just go for everything. Now this. Should I go for Ovoid or for Disc? It has been a really long while since I played on Ovoid shaped galaxy, so I will go for that one. I will actually go for a large galaxy as well. This will be a little bit of a longer playthrough. Actually, medium, I don't know, let's just go for large. 8 empires, age normal, and let's mix it up this time. Density, what is it? Oh, it's the number of systems. Okay, so let's set the density on low, connectivity on normal, constellations. Single large constellation. Lesser number of constellation. Okay, let's just go for few, I guess. Wormholes. Low, so this will unspice things a little bit in terms of that, because wormholes actually, I believe that in the early game they speed your game and in the late game they slow it down. So I go for low of them. Constellation distance, average planets per system, many planet size, smaller and resources normal. Okay, I'm spicing things up a little bit since it's my third playthrough, so I want to go for this kind of thing. And I will not go for custom, for random factions. I do want indeed to go for, you know, balanced. I do want to balance it out just so that we get a little bit of everything, and it feels kind of cool as well. Instead of United Empire, I am going to go for Shredden, or however you're supposed to pronounce this name. It's basically what I got for getting the upgraded edition of Endless Space. It's a different skin for United Empire. It doesn't treat anything else in terms of faction-wise. So, without further ado, let's start again! And men, be ready for something awesome that you're going to see right at the start as soon as the loading screen is going to finish. I will shut up just for a moment right there, so just so you can hear it. It's going to be amazing. Also, okay, I'll shut up. Right? Right? What? Where is the... Oh, come on now. There was supposed to be this message at the start that was completely amazing, and apparently now it isn't here anymore. Also, why is this apple in such an oval different thing? Is this some... I don't know, there's something weird about it. Why my control radius is like that? Did I change something, or... I don't even know. I'm not going to bother trying to think of what it is. It might be because of the shape of galaxy, but I don't see how this would affect anything, and how would that make any sense. Not really. But anyway, you know what I will do? I actually save the game right here, because I want to show you something to you guys that is pretty amazing, and for whatever reason it didn't happen when I started this game. So I will quit this one, and now this main menu looks way better. Still not as awesome as the beta one, but it's more like it. I like it. So anyway, let me just start the game as Hisho. Maybe this time it will show up, because I desperately want to show this cool new addition to you guys. It's kind of awesome. It gives you a little bit more insight in the lore of the game, and yeah, there we go. Listen.
What we call barbaric ritual, the Hisho call noble tradition. What we call brutal, they call just. What we call slaughter, they call glory. The Hisho have an obsession with blood, whether offering their own or sacrificing an enemy. And whether they rule the galaxy and demand tribute from lesser nations,
awesome
or die
screenshot.
in the effort to do so, they will consider their crusade successful. For their traditions demand either your blood or theirs.
Sorry, I just had to do this. Anyway, really cool. Let me just tell you this. I really like those intro screens that introduce you to the lore of the game if you did not know it already. I like it. I really like it. I believe it's a cool idea. Now, as you might remember, if you played the Endless Space before, they did change the loading screen to the outlook instead of the screen that said it was awesome in the introduction video. I kinda like the old one better, but I can understand the change and why it was made. Now I can hire 3 heroes that I have no money for, obviously, but the cool thing they changed, you actually start with that. This is something I suggested and many other people as well. I mean, it was just non-logical for you, a faction that made it into the stars, to start with nothing. So now you start with something which is very, very cool, and I'm unhappy. So let me just see what kind of swamp world. So that's not really lava-like, but I do get some more food, which is kind of good for me, at least in the beginning of the game. But the people kind of hate me, and I get less protection, which is not that good of a thing. But I'm not playing as Sower, so I might live through that. Then again, industry, very, very important. Oh, by the way, you know that now that you can create custom faction, that you can be even more overpowered than Sowers are? Just go for Sowers affinity and then just start pumping out your industry. You're gonna be indestructible. That's just a side note. So, since I get a lot of food on my own, I don't at all need to go for Evolved Soul, because I have quite a lot of food output. Instead, I will go for Industrial Zones, so that I get a little bit more industry, and I make up for this huge industry loss that I have currently. So that's the exploitation. I will go for currently a lot of Arctic and Tundra plants over here at this system. So that's a thing to remember. I will decrease my tax rate a lot, so that people will love me. And I would rather, I don't want to lose money, but then again, having my approval on Fervent, it does give me a lot of stuff. I mean, it does give me science, and it does give me industry as well. So I will wait until I get to 0 dust, then I will actually boost my tax rate, because I will not be able to survive with this. Also, scrap the ship. I mean, I know I desperately need a scouting ship right now, but would make it into this protester in 1 turn. Let's see it. I hold down the shift and see. No, it will not. So how do I cancel this move now? Not like this. Oh, but it did cancel it. Good. So now I can scrap the ship. Okay, I'm going to scrap it, and this will probably buy me a little bit more time before I'm bankrupt. Yes, that's actually doubled, decreased the output of dust that I lose by half. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I can start moving on, I guess. A nest ship. Where will I start? Protostar? What kind of planets are young planets? I know quite a lot about stars, but not so much about planets. Young planets, well, they're probably barren, aren't they? They should be barren, so I don't think I want to go there. On the other hand, large supergiant... Large. What on earth did I just say? Large supergiant? What is that? I want to see a large supergiant. Those would be kind of hilarious. But anyway, those are very old. If I remember, well, actually, they don't have to be old, do they? No, sometimes they just age very fast, but they're not old per se. I don't think I'll find really cool planets in there. However, I think Red Wolf should offer me something nice and decent, so I'll go for Red Wolf. It should be nice. Planets should be also relatively old, so I guess they should be also well developed? Maybe? We'll see. Red Wolves, if I remember correctly, are the stars that age the slowest out of all the stars in the galaxy. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Also, let me cancel this warrior ship because it's just annoying me. I don't want it here. It doesn't deserve to be here. And let me go for research. I do want to go for Tundra, I believe. However, I could also use some more production, so that's what I'm going to start off with. Because always, industry, very, very powerful thing. It's pretty much having good industry makes you win or lose the game, especially if you are going on a militaristic faction. And I definitely am, as you can clearly see. Later on, I'm probably going to go for Tundra, but it depends. If I discover that there are some non-Tundra planets, or there are actually no Tundra planets at all in this Red Dwarf district, then I will not go for this technology, so we'll see that in a moment. Oh, I didn't rename the system. How's this home planet for Zerg called? Not Char, I mean the home planet, the planet the origin was. Charcoal? No, it's not charcoal, it was... it started with Z, didn't it? Zard? No, that's not it. It's... it hurts my brain so much. Oh wait, oh hold on. How much time do I have with this video? I mean, I have to end this time anyway, so I might just end it anyway and see how long this video will last for. 8 minutes 50 seconds. You know what? I think I will end this video early just to check what is the original name. Actually no, I'll just pause it. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back as promised, and yeah, it was stupid. How can you forget this kind of thing? Obviously it's Zerus. So yeah, it's... Django isn't technically a lava. I could probably change this planet's type to lava just to fit the story. Honestly, I don't want to for obvious reasons, so nope, that's not happening. Also, I might as well queue up... Oh, I already have industrial zones. That was fast. Faster than I expected, for whatever reason. Children still get bigger population, quite a lot, but I'll have to do with that. My research has been finished, yeah, no wonder there. That's why I was able to go for this new upgrade. And yes, I will have access to titanium. This is very, very good indeed. Let me just finish movement on... Don't you dare attack my ship. It's not like it would matter, but don't you dare. Sowers. I don't really like sowers, do I? I mean, I want to kill them. Basically, my mission... Oh, this is nice. My mission is to make every faction I meet DED dead. That's pretty much my mission in a nutshell. So, Mira. Apparently it has a lot of lava, a lot of large gas giants, and some asteroids as well. Didn't really expect that, I have to admit, but I guess it happens. So I'll just keep going, trying to... Maybe this blue sun will be... Blue sun. That's not a proper name for a planet. Is it? No, it's not. You never call a star sun. So... Well, I might be wrong. I don't want to pretend like I'm so cool with astrology stuff, but I believe that's basically wrong in all possible ways. Now, in the meantime, you know what? I actually want to start bringing the pain to my enemies already, so why don't I go for military? No, the first turns are really important. I should start by going for some other stuff. I might go for soil xenobiology, just so it will be easier for me to colonize. Then again, nah, xenobotany is more important, I believe. Being able to colonize Tundra, since I have a lot of Tundra already. So yeah, I'll go for xenobotany. Yes, I know I'm not alone. This is a pretty fancy GIF, I guess, image. Why did I call it? How do you know it's a GIF image? Maybe it's a non-GIF image. So, whatever, I'm just talking nonsense right now. I'll just keep going. And You know, that's the reason I cannot speak today. I didn't drink any juice as of yet, so I'll do this right now. Give me a second. Oh yeah, it is awesome. It is quite awesome indeed. How much you wanna bet that there is already a colony on this blue sun? Fortunately, no, but I cannot create a colony on my own over there either. However, I could in the future. There is arid and more arid, and so this is awesome. So aurora waves, they give me a lot of bonus effects, except for science. I don't have to worry about that. But mutated flora, this is definitely cool. Is there any effect for mutated flora? I cannot see it yet. Also, there's desert and big glass helium. I think I like it. This system, I might go for it. So in this case, I'll go for arid epi weird, whatever they are first, and then I will go for the different stuff. aka Xenobotany, I believe, or actually I'll go for Isolation Shields, then Xenobotany. Isolation Shields obviously gonna give me more science, and I kinda need this science board at the start of the game just so that I can get some decent ish shapes at the get-go. Also, I might as well start creating a new nest ship. However, first of all, yeah, let me just redesign the nest ship so that it moves a little bit faster. So we modify it. Actually, this is my first time taking a deeper look at the nest ship. I have never ever done it. Looks awesome. So, as I usually do, let me attach an engine module that almost used up all of my tonnage. Not quite though, which is good. Apply the changes and my new nest ship is designed. Let me go for it then. Now, you cannot colonize just yet, so you just stay here like a good boy you are. Because I'm kind of afraid that if I were to move somewhere, I might find planet systems that are completely useless to me. And then I would have to go back and it will take me way too much time. Now, as you can see, I'm actually on a loss of dust, but still I will remain on this kind of negative dust output for a while, just to get my early game a little bit better, especially because the swamp world is a little bit kicking the teeth, as you might imagine. Not as bad as it could be though. There is this, I believe there is this anomaly that gives you minus to everything. It's a really big one as well, so yeah, it's like the opposite of Garden of Eden, which gives you bonus to everything, which is kinda ridiculous. As I assume there is, I'm actually not too sure myself, so yeah, that tells you a little bit of myself, doesn't it? So, the 10 is ending, and I'm curious to see what will happen. Actually, I don't think if I should well, I mean, the stars kinda tell you what kind of planets you can expect, but then again, it also kinda depends from the distance between the planet and the star, so yeah, that's another thing to consider. As I said, I'm not too good with the whole planet stuff. I'm better with dark matter, black holes, and the aging of the universe. That's the kind of stuff I was more into when I was learning about this whole affair. So, arid epigenetics, or whatever they're called, research already. This is pretty good, and I'll start with mutated flora because it gives me bonus to everything, which is kind of amazing. So I'll start with it. Excuse me, that's not how you colonize a planet, is it? Oh, you stupid dummy. There we go. Great things have small beginnings indeed. How are we going to call this planet? How? Oh, actually no. We are going to call it... How was that, this other planet called? This not called, how about... It started with T, didn't it? Testaros? No. Testaros, that sounds like some kind of Russian province. Testaros. Tarsonis, there we go. Yeah, Tarsonis, Testaros, what's the difference? Yeah, okay, so Tarsonis is here, and I'm going to go for... Actually, since I have quite a big of food output on the system, I might as well go for... Actually, this is arid, so I should go for a temporal finance. It will give me more dust and will allow me to maintain this kind of amazing empire happiness for a little bit longer time. Afterwards, I will obviously go for heavy isotope refineries. Now, let me end the turn right here. That would be my trash can. Does cloning give me bonus to every hostile-ish planet, or only to the most hostile planets? Actually, I want to check that to make sure. Where is cloning? There it is. Hydrogen, asteroids, methane, helium, Arctic desert, burn in lava. So only with the most harsh plants. That's good though, that's exactly what I wanted. Basically I wanted it to give me more food on lava because it feels Zergish enough. Alright, and okay, there is Nighthammer. I definitely will keep recording, but I will split the video here. So it was PANCZASU, the Mighty Mix Power. If for whatever reason you actually enjoyed my work, feel free to like this video and maybe even subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment because I enjoy reading them. Thank you for watching and I will see you online.